Honestly, Warhammer Online is one of the most addicting MMORPGs that I have played in a very long time. I recently tried out Warhammer Online for the first time, and I had a really good time going through it. Some of the open world, the PvP, the questing, and more. Everything was a lot of fun. So much so that I actually really wanted to come back and play the game some more, and these are the best reasons why I think you should give this game a shot. I've included a link of where you can sign up for Warhammer Online in the description below. Okay, so first off, right out the gate, the best reason that you should play this game is because of its crazy PvP, which, let's be serious, the Warhammer universe is known for. It is so integral to the game that it literally encourages you right from the start to get involved. The PvP is basically broken up into 4 different tiers contained within 3 different racial battles: dwarves versus greenskins, high elves versus dark elves, empire versus chaos. These fights have been going on for what seems like forever, but what's really engaging to me is that you can track where all the action is with the State of the Realm tracker. This is included into the game for all players, and it shows you where each and every major conflict is occurring, and you can filter out for things that you don't even want to see. In these zones, at least in my mild amount of experience, the combat seems to be very focused on group control and combat. However, you can break off and contest lesser populated nodes for control as well. Usually you can find some pretty good 1v1s out here anyway. Regardless of this, the realm versus realm matchups really provide some great replayable combat, and it's also one of the fastest ways to level. On top of that, you can join into skirmishes, which they are kind of how they already sound, which is more controlled, structured battlegrounds. Now, in my experience, however, there's only been a few times that I've actually had a full PvP match with all the player slots filled out. Most of my matches had about 3 to 4 players on either side. However, it did make for some more fun squad-based combat. To make all of this even more engaging, as you join into the glorious combat, you can unlock higher ranks of renown, which will allow you to earn specific skills, items, and more. I've also been told that the end game, or around level 40, you will need to have higher renown anyway to purchase the best in slot gear, amongst other things. However, I will admit I haven't gotten there quite yet. I found that just joining into the PvP and killing enemy players that I find, capturing nodes and running around there, I gained a ton of experience and leveled pretty darn quickly, so it all makes for a really good time. However, the classes in this game are so diverse, you will find all sorts of different playstyles that you'll never be bored. So I absolutely love the class design and the uniqueness tied to the options in this game. Each of the 6 races has a total of 4 classes within each one of them. And then even further, each class has 3 separate specializations that allow for more diverse customization. Each race has a tank, a healer, 1 range DPS, and 1 melee DPS. These are all unique, however, as the melee DPS for the Empire, which is the Witch Hunter, and the melee DPS for the Greenskins is a Choppa. Each one has their own unique approach to combat, as well as a differing playstyle, which honestly is so damn cool. I've spent most of my time as the Witch Hunter, using stealth to sneak up and burn heretics with combos and combo finishers. Honestly, it kind of plays like a rogue from classic World of Warcraft, just gonna say that there. Still, there is a use for each of the 4 archetype classes that you will be able to play. Where you may think the tank is out of place in PvP, the tank holds the front line and distracts enemies, while the damage dealers can get to work. Trust me, I've been smacked around quite a few times by a black orc. From what I have seen, there is some comparability across the classes on either factions. For example, the melee DPS for the Dark Elves, which is a Witch Elf, can also stealth just like the Witch Hunter from the Empire. However, regardless of the way that you wish to play, there's a unique class for you, and it's honestly a fantastic way for you to be introduced to the lore of the game. I'll be the first to admit, I didn't really know much about the Warhammer universe until I jumped fully into this game. Any experience I did have was from Warhammer Total War 2, which I logged several hundred hours in. However, I really didn't pay attention much to the lore or really what we were doing. That was until I got into Warhammer Online. I found out that there are several different iterations of Warhammer, so of course you guys probably know arguably the most popular is Warhammer 40k, set into the future and made wildly popular by Space Marine 2 that just came out. The Warhammer Fantasy Battle is set, well, into the past, basically. And from what I understand, Warhammer Online is based off of. From there, you get to learn about all the glorious backstory of this genre, and I'll admit I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to appreciate the game the same way that I should because I didn't have a strong backing in the lore. But after playing for a little bit, understanding the quests, the conflict between each of the races, I gradually learned more and more. For example, in the Warhammer Online timeline, the forces of Order, the Empire, the High Elves, and the Dwarves, formed a coalition to combat the forces of Disorder, the Dark Elves, Chaos, and Greensins. Outside of this timeline, each of the races are more distrusting of each other rather than actually being friendly. See, learn something new. This also helped me understand the world in which I was playing, and it's pretty damn good. Let's just be serious. As I spent more time in the world of Warhammer, I really started to get a good taste of said world design and, of course, the conflicts between the two, and, of course, the conflicts between the races. Now, given that this is a recreation of a much older MMO that is now extinct, I would be lying if I said the graphics are breathtaking. That's simply not true. Honestly, it didn't even really matter, because the game really did create a good atmosphere. Between the exploration, the questing, and then the draw for PvP combat, I found myself fascinated by the locations and more. Specifically, I was able to point out locations like the High Elf starting area of Trace, which I always think that I'm saying wrong, or Troll Country, which honestly is one of the most terrifying places I have ever been. Like, hands down, the trolls wrecked my pretty face there. Honestly, the way that the game has been recreated and allowed for such faithful detail of location from its lore, it's something that can really be appreciated. But honestly, the players are what I really enjoyed the most in this game. Warhammer Online should not, by any means, still be in existence if it wasn't for some of the most dedicated players working tirelessly to recreate the game after EA shut down the original servers 11 years ago. To them, it was not simply just a game to let go. They pushed and brought this beauty back to life and have done everything they can to make it as a faithful adaptation as possible to that original game that they lost. To carry that further, the amount of players who faithfully log in and play the game daily is what keeps this game going. Now, albeit it might be a bit smaller as compared to other MMORPGs, and I'd be lying to you if I said that it was busting down the door, but there are a significant amount of players here, and there is no shortage of finding someone to join in and do some good old PvP with. In my previous video, I had many comments about the wave of nostalgia that players felt seeing this game still alive and well, and it actually kind of brings a smile to my face, return some of the positive feelings that we have had from our older MMORPG experiences. It's amazing what a simple game can do. Now, this could be one of the best-selling features for any player still sitting on the fence, unsure if they want to get involved in this game despite it being an awesome time. The game is completely free to play, and it will never ever have a cost associated with it. There are no in-game transactions, monetary policies, or subscription costs. It is simply sign up on the website and then go to town. What I have drawn from this and why I love these types of MMOs is that I never feel obligated to log in daily and play because I have paid money. Nope, I can simply play the game as much as I want and get all the good gameplay out of it and call it a day. If I don't log in a month, I don't waste any money. Seriously, it has one of the best financial policies out there, let's be serious. As a casual MMO enjoyer, 10 for 10 would recommend. Now, I will say that these are all my reasons to play and enjoy this game, and I'm sure that there are some players who will look at this and say, not for me, and that's okay. Honestly, I recommend giving the game a go because it's a damn good time. Have you played Warhammer Online? What are your thoughts on the game? Tell me down in the comment section below. If you want to see my initial stab at the game, click this video here. Otherwise, stay caffeinated, folks.